Hello, my name is Ilona. In this video, I just want to talk about some information I received at night, or last night. Doesn't mean it's true. I always keep an open mind. I have no idea where it came from. I just want to share it and see if it resonates with you or not. And there are some things I want to talk about. So this is more of a philosophical video, so to speak. And the information I got that certain countries will be hit harder by something that's coming. So it will look awful. It will look, could be some kind of disaster going on that will look awful in a lot of parts all across the globe, but it's not as bad as it seems. So it will look disastrous, and I believe that that's the gut punch a lot of people are talking about. That's the event we are waiting for, the event that will look like a complete disaster, but in essence, it's the start of the of everything that's new systems will be put into place. So that will happen, and certain parts in the USA I got, and of course globally. It was mentioned that the Netherlands will be not so affected, but like I said, it will look worse than it is. So it's not going to be as worse as it seems. So it's really an event to shake people up. It will be a very, yeah, almost like I've seen this in certain videos of people talking about this like a near-death experience, and that I got the information that's going to happen, and it might have to do with water and floodings, maybe even tsunamis. I'm not sure about that. It's kind of what I've maybe even thought of myself. I'm not sure if that's what they told me. So it's more like I hear a voice and talking about that will happen in parts in the USA. It will affect globally. It will have an effect. I also had a question I kind of asked a couple of days ago, and they were kind of answering that as well. Like, why are there restrictions in certain areas, more, or like in Australia, why is it so strict there? What's going on? And they mentioned that it has to do with how fast asleep the people are in that area. And it has to do with what happened in the past and if people were looking away from things, which I found very interesting. So if people were standing up for themselves or not at all, or just turning their blind eye to certain things, just like of course, in Germany in the Second World War, a lot of people knew about things, but they just, used the excuse that they had no idea. There is a German saying, it says, "Wir haben es nicht gewusst." That means we didn't know, we had no idea. That's what it literally means. And it's used in the Netherlands as well as a certain joke, so to speak. But it was used as an excuse, and a lot of people had no idea what was going on. But if you really look at letters that people send in their time, you can really figure out they had a pretty good clue what was going on. They just didn't want to know, and it's very important. And of course, other things in the history of what we know, it's about looking away. It's about not seeing things, not wanting to see things. It's really what's going on right now in the world with the sleepers. They really don't want to see things, even if it's in their face. They're just ignoring it. They just don't want to. It causes like this cognitive dissonance. So we all have our values and our way of looking at things, our point of view. And if something threatens that, or some evidence comes up that really is telling that what we believe in is not true, you kind of get this defensive mechanism that's called cognitive dissonance. So we start throwing the information away because we don't want to. The feeling we get from information that doesn't fit with what we believe, we don't want to deal with that. So someone will say something, we will start attacking that person, or we will just pretend we didn't hear it, or just ignore it, so we don't get that feeling like something's wrong. We don't like that feeling. We like to stay where we are in our own bubble. So it's interesting to me that they were mentioning that as well, like almost like the ignorance. So the more ignorant people are, the tougher the restrictions will be to wake them up. They'll need more of a wake-up call, which is in a way interesting, because I'm looking at the Netherlands, and of course we do have restrictions, but compared to other countries, it's all right. Of course, Denmark has no restrictions at all, wish we were there, but compared to other countries, we still are not in a very restrictive mode. It can still happen, but right now we don't have any that, and it's not mandatory to get a wasp sting. So yet they're working on it, but it's not mandatory yet. So I kind of wondered about that. And if you look at the Netherlands, there are a lot of light workers here. There's a big community, if you look at it, of truthers. Just look at the Netherlands. We have a lot of people, speaking up, doing their things. If you compare it to Belgium or Germany, I don't know anyone in Belgium. Maybe there are. I'm sure there are a few people that are speaking up. But I also have a lot of people from Belgium watching me because they don't know anyone who's doing this, and they're watching Dutch channels and Dutch information. So it's very interesting, and I'm not even sure about Germany, but if you compare Germany to the Netherlands, Germany is an incredible big country, so you'd expect an enormous community of people talking about these things, but maybe I'm not aware of them. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not this humongous community there, at least not I'm aware of. So it's interesting that in the Netherlands, it's quite a big community. So I'm not sure if that's the case, if it's really about waking up people, but to me that made sense. So I'm just going to take a look with my cards, what the cards will say about that information that I've received, if there's any truth to it. Let's see. This is the card above. That's the Six of Pentacles, I believe. I'm now using the Robin Wood Tarot. This is the Nine of Cups. That's a central card. And this is the card in the past. That's the Knight of Swords. And this is the Page of Swords. That is underneath the central card. And the card in the future is the Four of Cups. This is interesting because we have the Nine of Cups. And this has to do, of course, with information. So I do have a feeling that the information I received, there is truth to it, some truth, certainly. It's about balancing things. And that's interesting because that's really the feeling I'm getting lately about good and bad and how things are balancing, and that we are right now in this moment in time, because in the past things didn't work out. So a lot of us are now have incarnated in this lifetime to really right or wrong, in so to speak. So really balancing thing, and that's what it feels like, even with the restrictions and everything that's going on. It's about waking up, people. And this time you will really need to wake up. Of course, we all have a choice. We have free will, and that's of course the essence in the future is, will someone really want to wake up or not? That's up to them, because this card is about being closed off. Something is offered, so in a way restrictions are offered as a cup to wake up, like wake up, look at how ridiculous this gets, look at how awful this gets. You don't want this, you don't want this for your children, you don't want this for your future. And it's up to each of us to decide what we're going to do. We're going to accept this cup and really start to raise our vibration, because that's the most important thing. Are we really going to step into our authority? Are we really going to wake up, or are we going to leave it at this? That's really what this is about. So I do believe that the information has a certain truth to it. It's about waking up. It's about taking in new information. It's about opening up, because that's what the Page of Swords stands for. It's an opportunity for a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at things. It's about balancing things. That's what the Six of Pentacles is all about, but restoring a balance. And people have this opportunity now to really step into their own strength in a way. The Nine of Cups is a special card. It's the wish card, so to speak. So I guess the wish of the universe is for us to all wake up, because this is the Great Awakening. And this is what this is about. It's about the spiritual awakeness. And it's up to each and every one of us to say yes or no, really, to make a choice. It's about free will. So Yes, what I'm getting is that the information I got has truth to it. Maybe not everything, but certainly truth about waking up and the opportunity to wake up and to claim your authority again. It's very, very important. So I think I'm going to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.